Welcome back to Masculine Scrapping. Today we're showing some other pictures from Central Park in New York. Across the pond, this building right here is apparently the world's tallest, thinnest apartment complex. Looks kind of scary to me. One of the famous bridges. I think that's featured in a couple of films. Again, some more pictures a little closer up of those buildings there and some very expensive apartment complexes. This picture here, this guy was playing guitar in the walkway that leads out to the Angel of the Water statue, and I just thought that was cool. Little gazebo, some more pictures across the pond or lake of apartment complexes, very expensive ones, and of course a picture of me, which I don't put in very often. All of this designed in Cricut Design Studio. Found these graphics. This one I think was already part of Cricut Design Studio, and this one I was able to find online, and then those were changed to be done with a pen. We'll show you when this one was doing, it got smashed a little bit here. I decided not to redo it because I did not have another piece of this paper, and I'm going to show you here in a bit what I'm going to do to help cover that up. You'll also notice on this side my border has a piece cut out of it. I didn't have enough of this paper. It was from scraps, and so this is actually going to get hidden underneath this one. And so just I'll show you a couple of techniques to help solve some of those things. So let's stick that one up there, and we'll work on the placement of these photos. I've got to think carefully about spacing on these because I want it to match what I need to do on that side, and some of what I'm doing on that side will help to cover some of that mistake. So I'm just going to pull that out. I feel pretty comfortable with this placement, so we'll start putting these down. Go. Again, on this tour, man, we're kind of doing a whirlwind through everything here, and I would take pictures and we'd keep going, and not always do I remember what I was taking a picture of. When I did my trip to Europe, over 20 years ago, I kept a journal every night of what we had done, because I didn't want to forget what we had done when I was scrapbooking, and I'm very thankful I did that. I had to reference it several times. I'm like, I have a picture here, and I have no idea what castle this is. They just all look the same, and that's part of what started happening on this trip in New York. I'm like, okay, that's like the 10th church I've seen. I can't exactly remember what it is. Okay, so now we're going to end up putting this down on here first, and I think I'm going to do it that way. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to stick this down. There we go. And we have this piece. I'll get the tape on it, but basically I'm just going to do that. And look, you can't even tell that cutout piece was ever there, and so we'll help to hide that. Again, I think you've seen me do this several times where I've kind of purposefully taken something that was a mistake or a cut or whatever and placed it under something else because it helps to hide it, and then that way you're not wasting paper, because I would have hated to have pulled out another whole sheet, 12 by 12 sheet of that green, just to give me this border. So I can tell already that this paper is not quite the same size. This is 12 by 12, and you'll notice that that's going a little bit beyond. It's very possible that this is Creative Memories paper, which is a little smaller. And sometimes when that happens and I'm putting it in the album, then I need to add another backing to it, and I normally use either white or black to do it. So I'm just going to put this one on top, and it's going to help to hide that. So I need to put this down first. I am going to try and match that border there, and then we'll put it down. So yeah, I really like my Cricut machine. Every once in a while, oh dear, man, it is not liking this right here. Every once in a while it does jam up. It's usually my fault because I've left some little scrap of paper on the machine, and I mean on the mat, and then it catches on the piece of paper that's underneath the mat. Let's go a little further. There we go. Okay. Okay, so you can just see a little bit there. It's not quite as bad. So it is going to be interesting. This one overlaps. The other one is going to go that way. And I'm actually okay with that. I'm just going to call it creative license. Actually, I want that one there. And this one here. And that. There we go. That's the order I want to get them on. So we'll work on the spacing. And I need to put these two down first so that I have good reference for where to put those. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about living in that high-rise apartment complex. It's so thin, I think I would just feel very vulnerable way up there. Be kind of nice to have the money to be able to afford to do it, but then not spend it to actually do it. So there we go. Chose greens theme for this spread because of all the trees in the park. It's actually a very refreshing place to be in New York, and you can see why people really love it when they live there. It's a place of respite. So there we go, Central Park, New York City. Hope you've been enjoying this. Would love to see your projects. Have a great day.